So for those of you who haven't joined before, it's pretty straightforward how this works, pretty casual. Any questions you have, feel free to submit them in the Q&A button beneath me, and I will answer them in the order I get them, the best I can. Alternatively, if there's something you want to have a conversation about, I can unmute your mic and we can have a chat. So I will just wait and see what you guys have. Okay, so this question is from Caroline. When a former member tries to log into their account, many times they think their account is still active when they haven't paid in years, and they get taken to an error page. How can I include a dynamic purchase link so that they can reinstate their existing account? We offer multiple membership levels, but I'd want to be able to offer them a purchase link that is specific to their existing membership level. How would I code that? Well, there's a conundrum here, right? Because the error itself is that they can't log into the account because their account is inactive or has been deleted. It could be any number of reasons. Let's say the most common case is that their account has been canceled. So dynamic nature of anything is not going to be possible on this error page because the user is not logged in. So therefore we don't know, MemberMouse doesn't know who they are because they're not logged in. So therefore nothing can be dynamic on this page. It has to be handled. It can be dynamic in the sense of what the error code is. So you can detect what type of error occurred. It could be that their account is canceled. There are different error codes. And there's a support article that enumerates them and tells you how you can display different content based on the specific error code. But unfortunately, because the nature of the situation is that the member can't log in, we're not going to be able to display anything to them specific to what their account, anything related to their account, right? So you'll just have to have a more dynamic approach, like say, if the error code is cancel, what you could do, you could say something like, your account has been canceled. To reinstate your account, click on the button below that relates to the level that you were on or whatever. So you just have to have a number of options for them. Okay. So Naeem, we are offering some free digital content that can be drip fed for a physical book that is being sold. We're giving a unique coupon code for each book so they can register their book to access this content. So the content is free, but only available for those that purchased the physical book. Only way we can verify they purchased the book is when they enter the coupon code we put inside each book. We tried doing it using a bundle and a coupon code, but it doesn't make the coupon forced and always asks for payments. What would be the best way to do this? I think the coupon code is the best way to do it, but you want to make sure that the coupon is a free coupon. So let me share my screen here. Let me just get something set up first. Okay, so go to product settings, coupons. Let's see, do I have a free coupon? Yes, so I have a free coupon. So free to, no, I'm just gonna create a coupon that's just free. So book, and I'll call the coupon book. and I will make this a free coupon. And you can limit the quantity to 1, you know, just for security's sake or whatever, if you want, since it sounds like you're creating unique coupon codes for each book. So you would want to, you may potentially want to limit the quantity to 1. So then I'll save this coupon. Okay, so now I have a coupon called book. So now at this point, it doesn't matter whether if it's a paid bundle or a paid membership or whatever that's giving access to the content, because we have a free coupon. So let's just go to our bundles here and say, here we have, actually, sorry, I can just go to the front end of my site. Okay, so let's select one of these bundles. So typically this is a paid bundle. So you can see it's $10 a month. But I'll scroll down here to the coupon section and click apply coupon. And then go ahead and submit this. I see what you're saying though, I think, because while this is free, I still, because it was paid, I still needed to enter in the coupon code. Sorry, I still needed to enter in my payment information. So I guess you're more specifically, you're asking, how can you do this? Oh, got it. Yeah, so oh, it's interesting, George, you have a similar question. While I'm thinking about this, Naeem, I was just looking at the other question here. So George is saying, question about registration and the ability to have a custom validated field that is required. A user fills the registration form and a must-have invitation code in order to log in. So it's basically a similar situation where you only want to let people in who have a certain code that they've gotten somewhere. So in your situation, George, I'm guessing you know how to create a required custom field, but I'm guessing you're asking, how do you validate that the invitation code matches something? Because ability to have a custom field is. So, okay, maybe you don't know how to make them required, but basically to make the field required is pretty straightforward. And Naeem, I am going to come back to your question. I'm kind of like thinking on it on a secondary process. So custom fields. Okay, so any custom field, if you just go to get the form SmartTag, you see here there are some attributes you can add to the field. So if you copy this field, the default is required as false. So you can set that to true. And then member mouse on the submission of the form, the checkout form, will validate that that field has been filled out before continuing. Okay, so how do we allow people to gain access only given a certain code without entering credit card information? It's going to be custom either way, but I came up with another possibility. Okay, so first possibility is, again, using a coupon code. You enter in the coupon code and click apply coupon. Now you'll notice that when that coupon is applied successfully, we display this message on we dynamically update the page to display this message. So depending on the level of your JavaScript skills, you could listen for and catch this event saying that the coupon has been applied successfully. And as a result of that, you could then redirect somebody to a page where they can sign up for something for free, bypassing the payment, possibly the necessity for payment. Not a really elegant solution from a development standpoint, but it is a way that you could do it. And yeah, Cindy is pointing out this article allowing members to add a free bundle to their account. So, but again, I think that this solution is not going to work unless because the problem is that if it's free, anybody can sign up for it, right? So the only way that if you could use free bundle, but the only way that this would work is if that you were actually creating a free bundle for each book, and therefore, sending people to the free bundle checkout page as an individual. So basically, the link for the checkout page for the free bundle would be unique for each book. So that would be how you would have to do it using free bundles. Otherwise, there would be no way to validate that somebody got it, has the book or not. But yeah, you could do this. And if you follow this article, allow people to sign up for it. And one way, yeah, this might actually be a better way to do it, but either way, you're going to need something where you can put something in the book that somebody types in, and then as a result of that, they get sent somewhere. So maybe you have a landing page that's like the landing page for everybody buys the book with just one field on it, and that field accepts the code from the book. And then on in some database table, you have a linkage between what's in the book and the URL to the free bundle that they're going to sign up for specifically for that book. And so when they enter the code, you can then redirect them to the checkout page. Security-wise, having a free bundle for each book. Well, the thing is, though, as soon as somebody gets to, sorry, I'm thinking through this on the fly, but the thing is, it really depends on how secure you want this to be. Because the downfall to this method, while it will work, the downfall is as soon as one person gets the URL to that free bundle, they can share it, right? Unless, of course, you have a way where you manually disable bundles from being used once they've been used once. But that becomes a manual maintenance point, which isn't scalable. So that wouldn't be the best way to do it. Well, the thing is, you could hide the payment options, but the thing is, you won't be able to bypass MemberMouse's JavaScript validation. So even if the payment options aren't there and MemberMouse is expecting payment, the JavaScript validation won't allow you to continue. So that's not going to help. So, but anyway, there will be a recording of this that's released, so you can, that solution about using the free bundles and then having codes and then a linkage table between them to redirect to the pages. There is a potential solution there with the potential downsides that I also mentioned. The original solution that I was thinking about using the push notification system, because yeah, this is a tricky problem, actually. I haven't, I mean, it's not so much of a tricky problem if you just take it on the face value, but it's a tricky problem trying to figure out how to do it within the confines of what's available. Because I'm not sure what numbers you're dealing with here, but I always like solutions to be scalable and not have manual components to them. So like manual entry, because anytime you have something that you have to manually do or somebody on your team has to manually do, it means that there's going to be a cost to you scaling. Yeah, I mean, okay, so I don't like any of these solutions purely, but there's downsides to all of them. But let's just say the push notification one, if you're not familiar with the push notification system, basically it allows you to, you go to developer tools, it allows you to call a script after a certain action has happened. So one thing you could do is you could have a free membership level that's purely, its only purpose is to be kind of like a holding membership, but it's something that allows you to collect the data, but it doesn't give people access to anything. Actually, this is probably the best solution. Okay, so you'll create a free membership and you'll call it pending or whatever. This free membership, granted, anybody can sign up for it, but it's not going to give people access to anything. And then what you're going to do is create a custom field. So you go to checkout settings, create a custom field, and call it book code or whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. Don't show it on the My Account page because you don't want the customer to be able to see it or mess with it. Save that. Now on the page that you create where somebody's going to register for the free content, you'll have them signing up for this pending membership level, free membership level, and you're going to put this smart tag on that checkout page to collect the book code, and you're going to make it required. So you set required to true. Okay, so when they do that and it gets submitted, you will have a push notification that gets triggered. So create push notification when member is added on only this membership level. So you would select the pending membership level you create, and then you'd say call custom script. You put in the URL of your script, and you can start by downloading this member notification script. Let me just open this up. So what you're going to do in this script is you are going to access, so here you can see how to access custom field data. So, so basically you would check the ID of the custom field you just created for the book code. Book code, the ID, hover over this, the ID is 13. So you just say book code. Okay, and then you'll do a database lookup. So you'll say if book code is in the database and valid, then, and now is when you're going to use our API, because what you're going to do is you're going to switch them to the membership level that actually gives them access to content, or add the bundle to their account that gives them access to free content. You can do either, but basically go to you'll use our API. API documentation, and you would do update if you want to switch them to a free membership, you would use the update member call and just provide the new membership ID. And if you want to do it using bundles, you would use the add bundle call, and you would just provide the ID of the bundle. So I do believe that this is the best solution. It avoids all the downsides of security. You control the entire process in the backend. Obviously, it's a little bit more developer heavy, but not so much. I mean, pretty straightforward. And the user experience is good. There isn't any security flaws in case the links leak. It's scalable, and you control the entire process in your script in terms of who gets access to the content by verifying the code. By the way, George, this also potentially applies to your situation, because you're really asking the same thing. How do you, because it's one thing to collect, the tricky part of this problem is that one thing to collect data. It's another thing to verify the data against some data set. So that's like kind of the tricky component of this. But anyway, I think the last solution I outlined is the best approach. Well, so George, is there still open aspects to your question and named? Does that make sense to you? Oh, where would you put the list of values, coupon codes? Do you just create a new table and put it there, or maybe just add the coupon table? I would create a custom table because these are values that you're going to create. So I would just create your own table, and I would probably have a column in there for coupon code, for whatever you want to call the codes, because you're going to dynamically generate these yourself. So this isn't something you need to, from a data perspective, this isn't something you need to involve MemberMouse with. You'll generate all these codes on your own. And also, you probably want to have a flag in that table that indicates that it was used. So in that script that I was talking about where you're verifying the coupon code, once you switch the person over to the free membership level and give them access to content, you may want to update the table to mark it as used. So this, for this reason, it makes sense for it to be your own custom table, and for some other reasons, but yeah, you would just have your own table. George, would it be easier if I unmute your mic and you can explain the particulars? I can hear you.
All right. It's very similar to the other individual's situation where I do need a custom unique code that's going to go to a group of people, say, but it's not on purchase, it's on registration. So on the registration part of I do need a code that will identify this group of people. Say it's the dog people.
Right.
Only they know that this coupon code for dog. If they share it, great. I don't really care, but it's more for tracking purposes. Because after that happens, I need to load depending on what that variable is, dog, cat, fish, I need to load an additional JavaScript that is associated with booking travel. If you want, you can even go to that website, the URL that I put in the question. It's live.
Tripblocks.com.
Yeah, I'm using another membership platform, and I don't really want to say. I mean,
yeah, that's fine.
I don't really care personally. It's Ultimate Member, and they don't allow for it to. They won't allow export of their member list. Previously, I had this similarly working with WooCommerce and all that, but I came across your membership stuff, and it seems like a better fit for this platform.
Okay, so the idea here is you have this invitation code field, and I type in dog, and so it's not an on change thing that you're talking about, it's an on submission.
Right. No, okay. Even on submission, if the word dog is in a database or in a table or in a list, it could be anywhere, right?
Yeah. You're just talking about on the following page, you want to do something based on that value?
Based on that value.
Oh, okay. Well, that's easy.
And this value has to be custom. There's going to be like, I don't know, 1,000 of them maybe.
Sure. Okay, so there's two parts.
Right.
Storing in the database, getting access to it, that part's easy. The question I have is the creation of these values, the verification process.
That's what
you use a helping table with that? Like, do you need, because collecting it on registration and being able to access that value from the database via code and PHP that part's done. That's easy with MemberMouse. Okay. The verification part, I feel like is probably better for you to just have a lookup. Like you could have a JSON string somewhere in the WPL, however you want to do it, what's most efficient for you. It depends on how that list is created. Is it something that needs to be managed on the back end? Is, stuff like that.
Well, I figured with the custom field within this registration, there would be some type of custom validation I could put on there that I can type out this list or add it to a value. As if it's not in any of this, then fail. Sorry.
Oh, I see. So you don't even want the form to be able to be submitted if the values
Correct.
doesn't match.
Correct.
Um,
So if I don't have dog, cat, or fish in my list, you can't register.
I see. It's not, basically the solution is going to be similar to what I explained to Naeem, because there's no way to do that right now on form validation there's no way to customize the form validation process in terms of looking up database value, specific values and comparing them from a field.
Okay.
But like I was telling him, you can have this registration form be going to like a holding membership, awaiting confirmation, pending confirmation, and that confirmation can happen programmatically. Unbeknownst to the member, basically what can happen is, using a similar procedure of the push notification system that calls a script and checks the value that was entered versus the list. If it's successful, you redirect them to a certain page. If it's not successful, you redirect them to another page and providing additional instruction.
No, they just won't get past this form. It'll come up.
Right, you return them this page and put an error code on it. Yeah. But
once they do register, they have access to. It's just access. It's a free membership.
Correct. If that's how you want it, yeah.
That's right. I didn't know if that made a difference, whether if it was part of the ecosystem, paid or unpaid. Apparently,
no,
not, so.
No, you can have either. But in this case, you're not accepting pay. You're not asking for payment, so it would be free. But yeah, I mean, the way that you're describing it is definitely like the more elegant possibility of how it would be done if you had this as a requirement from day one. That's how it would be implemented, but we don't have that ability to have custom validation on forms based on data sets. So this is it's a workaround, but it would be fine.
I appreciate it.
Sure.
After this is somehow validated, is there something I should do maybe with a webhook and just check against the main WordPress, or you guys use the main WordPress user set?
Correct. When a member is created through a member mouse form, it's built on top of a WordPress user. So WordPress user is created because all of the user authentication, password, etc. That's the WordPress user system. We don't have a separate process for that. Login, etc. It's all using the WordPress system. We just maybe skin it or something like that. But yeah, so when a member is created, it also creates a WordPress user, which means that it's going to be able to be integrated with any other plugin that depends on the WordPress user system, like member directories or forums or whatever. So yeah, that would automatically be done. And but by the way, we use the word push notification, but they are webhooks. They're
okay.
They're webhooks. Yeah.
And then so that external JavaScript, like what happens after you register for this, what needs to occur is based on that value of dog, cat, or fish, you're going to load a JavaScript into the head of the page that is there.
Got it. Yeah.
This only because I have to track it.
Yeah. So what you're going to want to use for that, you'll want to be aware of is we have a PHP interface. So we have SmartTags, which are shortcodes, which allow you to access different data elements in the database. So for example, if you store this invitation code as a custom field and you want to access that, If you want to output it on the screen, just through WordPress content, you would use our shortcodes or they're called SmartTags. But if you want to access it in PHP so that you can manipulate it in a script, you would use our PHP interface, which is just a collection of functions that allow you to, like, for example, you would be looking for this function, member data, and then this would allow you to access the custom field value, dog, cat, fish, whatever. So in like WP head or wherever you're doing it, so that you can output you can enqueue the appropriate script.
Oh, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
And I can enqueue that whatever based on however many fields versus how many JavaScripts they need to load.
Exactly. Yeah.
Create my
yeah, obviously just make sure that you're doing this at a point where MemberMouse has been instantiated in the order of the way that WordPress loads its load order for its hooks and everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Because these functions won't be available until MemberMouse has been loaded.
Oh, clearly, obviously.
Yeah. But these are basically the requirements right here. As long as you have these on a page, you can use all of the PHP interface. Does that help?
You know what? I think I'm going to have to set up a development environment and give it a try.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a test version?
Well, we have the free trial.
Is it a free trial?
So, that's available. What's your private message me your email address, and I'll ask somebody on my team to reach out to you and help you get that set up.
Okay. Yeah, because who builds a membership site that doesn't allow for you to export your member list? I don't understand these.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure why that would be the case. Unless it's either an oversight or it was intentional. Either way, it's not helpful for you.
No.
But yeah,
the SmartTags is pretty cool function.
Yeah. Yeah, and they not only operate to output data, but they also allow you to do decisional things. So you'll definitely want to check out the member decision SmartTags, so that if you want to have dynamic content on the page based on who's looking at it, they function that way too. So you can surround blocks of your HTML, CSS, or whatever with the SmartTags, so you can show or hide content based on how long somebody's been a member, if they've purchased something or not, what the value of a custom field is, stuff like that.
Or custom links, which is exactly what to do.
Yeah.
I would give it a whirl.
Cool. All right. Well, unless you have anything else, I'm gonna wrap up here.
Oh yeah, I do have another question. Is there, do you guys have any webhooks for Campaign Monitor?
We have an integration. Our push notification system, in addition to triggering, you can send emails to customers, your team, you can call scripts. It also integrates with Zapier. So if you want to, link up to any other system based on triggers that happen in MemberMouse through Zapier, that's how you do it. So Campaign Monitor or whoever else. But I don't know if you've worked with Zapier before.
I haven't. So.
Oh, okay. So you basically tell MemberMouse when a member is added, notify Zapier, and then inside of Zapier, you can then say, when this notification comes in for MemberMouse, inform whoever out of the 5,000 plus apps that they integrate with, Campaign Monitor, and then you just do the data mapping. You'll send a test. Zapier will grab all the data that MemberMouse sends, and you can use their interface to tell it, send this data, Campaign Monitor, this data, and then Campaign Monitor will have a series of actions that you can trigger based on that.
Just add to a list, right? That'd be easy enough.
Exactly.
Zapier, okay. I know I've seen their hooks before, and I just haven't used any.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah.
Now this site that I have is built in Divi. Do you guys play nice with Divi?
Yeah, we do. They're one of our, I would say, top 3 preferred themes that we work with. We even have a Divi layout pack, which is basically a way for people just getting started to have a whole series of custom layouts for the core pages that come shipped with the member mouse. It won't be necessary in your case because you already have your site themed and everything. But
Right.
yeah, we work with Divi.
Nice. Well, I appreciate your time, good sir. Enjoy your Friday in Florida.
Yeah, you too, George. Thank you for the good questions today. Give my brain a workout. And I hope you all have a great weekend, and we will see you next time. All right, thanks.